them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Mark
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. I'm producer Shayne, joined as always, my counterpart, my good friend, Pierre McGuire. Pierre, how are you today?
I'm excellent, Shayne. Great to see you. Can we just cut right to it? Happy for the Canadiens and their win. Thrilled to death for the Senators and their win. I would be so upset if I were a Toronto Maple Leaf fan right now. Let's just cut right to it, man.
That was the first thing on my notes, Pierre. We mentioned it last show, too. You said it. You said if the Toronto Maple Leafs don't jump on the Washington Capitals and take a W there, they're in big trouble. Not only did they lose that one, Pierre, they got shut out 4-0.
Shayne, I was shocked at the lack of compete. And Craig, first of all, I love being transparent on this show. I have a ton of respect for Craig Berube. I've known him a long time. He was a player in the league when I was a young coach in the league. He was a player that I would have loved to have had on my team if we could have the chance to get him. Mm-hmm. He was tough as nails. He was hockey savvy. I broadcast a lot of his games when he was coaching in Philadelphia, when he was coaching in St. Louis. And, the year they won the cup, I did every one of their playoff games, every single playoff game. It's unbelievable. And what I heard him say last night after the game, I was like, whoa, he's serious. He's like deathly serious. Don't ask me, ask them.
Yeah. A lack of urgency and a lack of passion. That's what he said.
When you do that as a coach, you're a little bit in trouble. And I'll tell you why. Because it says to ownership and to upper management, the people above you, that you might not have any more answers to the puzzling questions that it is to coach a team. That was a very tough statement for him to make. And I wish I don't like to call coaches when they're struggling. I don't think it's appropriate. I'd rather call them and coach them up when they're winning or help them when they're winning. This is a tough one. I'm just telling you, I got to think that there's going to be some repercussions. If they go into Nashville and lose that game with the same – no, I shouldn't say it. If they lose a game with the same effort they had last night in Washington, there's going to be big problems there. I'm telling you right now, they're going to be. But if they go in there and lose, but they give an effort, that's different.
Yeah, that's it.
Those guys did nothing. And the game before that they pulled out of the ditch against Chicago – for 45 minutes, those guys didn't do anything.
No.
They didn't do anything.
Oh, boy. And I mean, listen, most of us thought that they were going to at least be in the playoffs, but actually make a run, right? And maybe go further this year because they were more so built for the playoffs. I think that's what, management tried to do this offseason. They wanted to get more grit, more physicality. And right now, as we speak, they are 7th in the Atlantic, 14th in the East. Pierre, forget not making the playoffs. They might bottom out. At this point, do you think a personnel issue or a culture issue?
The Marner thing's a problem. They can say whatever they want as a management group or an ownership group. The Marner thing's a problem. The Nylander thing's a problem. There's a lack of consistency with Willie, and Willie's a really good player, obviously, and he's really important to that team. Lack of consistency there. The stripping of the captaincy from Tavares, I think, still hasn't sat well with a lot of people, and I think that's a problem. For whatever reason, Austin doesn't look like Austin Matthews. He doesn't. And again, I go back to knowing him when he was 15 years old. Watching him at the U.S. National Team Development Program. So, it's been a while. I can tell you that there was a certain time in this league, not that long ago, where Austin Matthews was as good as Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, or Connor McDavid. He was as good, if not better.
Yeah.
If not better. You cannot make that argument now. Not even close to making that argument. They got issues. And I know they've had some injuries on defense, especially on the right side. Not having Tanev, not having Carlo, that hurts. But I'm a huge – I hate to pick on players. I'm a big Bobby McMahon fan. I watched Bobby play at Colgate University. My son went there the year Bobby left. I'm a huge Bobby McMahon guy, okay? Just going to tell you. From Wainwright, Alberta, hardworking, industrious kid. Not a lot of people from Wainwright, Alberta playing in the National Hockey League. I'm just telling you. I watched him last night on a goal that was scored by Jacob Chikrin.
Oh, oy, oy, oy.
And I'm just going to tell you right now, he didn't even try.
No one did. They just let him walk in. Yeah.
He didn't try.
Oh.
And I'm telling you right now, Bobby McMahon is big. Bobby McMahon is strong. And Bobby McMahon made the NHL as an undrafted player. He took a very arduous route. He started in the East Coast League. And I'm just telling you right now, like, that's not the Bobby McMahon I know. So I don't know what's going on there, but something's going on there. And that goal, I haven't seen it written anywhere. Haven't heard anybody talk about it. I watched the Washington feed, Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin. Listen to them. Not one thing said about it. But if you're a hockey person and you watch that, you're like, something's wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Something's wrong. That's the goal that told me something's really wrong there.
Big time. No, that's it. No effort. No effort at all. No one went after him. This is beyond concerning for Leafs fans, that's for sure. When there's no answers, even from the coach, oh boy, strap in. It's going to be interesting.
But that's a good way to do it, Shayne. You're spot on. Like, strap it up and let's go. Let's play. And there's not one player. There's not one player in Toronto. I can tell you right now, on their roster right now, there's not one guy that can beat their coach up. There's not one guy on that team that can beat their coach up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There is one. There's not one.
Wow. Yeah. Anyways, that's a situation right there. But let's flip over to the positives and talk about a bit about a game that you mentioned off the top. I mentioned a game that you watch closely. You talked about it last night with Tony and Brian Wild on the Habs post-game show. The Montreal Canadiens get back in the win column after counter performance against the Flyers. They beat the Hawks 4-1. However, I'm more interested about the next two games that the Habs have to play this weekend, back-to-back against the very struggling Pittsburgh Penguins. It's 7 losses in a row now. Could this be sort of a trap game for the Habs, who are a young team who might, underestimate Sidney Crosby and the gang?
It better not be.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this right now. So Pittsburgh has lost 7 games in a row, but 4 of those losses, they got the loser point. So it's kind of camouflaged just a little bit. That's number one. Number two, Pittsburgh was a little bit better than the score last night. I thought that Linus Ullmark made some really good saves for Ottawa, especially in the first period when the score was 1-0 Ottawa after a power play goal by Brady Tkachuk. I would just tell you that Linus Ullmark made some phenomenal saves. So
yeah,
Pittsburgh a little better. If I'm the coach of Montreal, I'm showing my guys, hey, don't look at the score. This is what happened last night. I'm going to show you. And there's a bunch of sequences. Now, after the first period, Ottawa dominated the second. Like, it wasn't even close. I think the shots were like 12-4, 13-3, something like that. It wasn't even close. And then the third period, I just thought the inexperience and fatigue for Pittsburgh, and Ottawa knows how to win. But I don't think it's a trap game.
Okay.
Because here's what I like about Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
I see Demidov starting to surge like a superstar, Shayne. I don't know if you agree with me, but he's a star. He's a star right now. But I'm seeing superstar surge for him, just for him. I'm happy Bolduc got 2 goals. I'm happy he got 2 goals in Montreal finally. That's great. That's good. I'm going to say this. I don't like him on that line, but last night I liked him on the line because he was physical and he was tough and he was moving his feet and he was creating space and he was opening things up. If he tried to play like a slickster and a toe dragger, he's no good on that line. No good.
Nope.
So somebody must have got to him because he was a way different player last night, which is really good. Mm-hmm. I don't think Montreal will lose tomorrow in Montreal. I really don't. I don't think they will.
And one player, Pierre, you haven't mentioned here, and you guys spent a lot of time talking about him last night.
He's too good.
We're going to talk about him again. Okay.
Hutson is. If you don't know how good Lane Hutson is, and I give up.
Wow.
I give up. All those guys are rating all those, and because you're so good at this. All those guys rating negative scouting reports about Lane Hutson. Those guys should be ashamed and they should apologize. If they really had courage and they were really good reporters, they'd say, you know what? I got this guy wrong.
Correct.
He's really good. He's way better than I thought. It's like, I'll tell you this right now, and I always, when I'm wrong, I freaking say it. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I got Toronto wrong. I did. I got Toronto
weren't the only
wrong.
one, though.
No, but I'm just telling you, I got him wrong. Now, part of it's injury. I get it. Part of it's there's something going wrong. There's something not right there. But I got him wrong. And I'll admit that. But all these people, now Lane Hutson, this is getting like crazy. Where are all these people that doubted him? Where are all these people that took shots at him? Where are all these people that were writing really bad stuff? Where are they all now?
It's a great question. That's a great question. And Pierre, to your point, the only person that I know who has said publicly that they misevaluated Hutson is Snake, my partner Snake.
Good for him.
He said at the start that he'd be a gadget player, and he walked that back. He's like, no, I was wrong. He's a superstar. He is. Good. And furthermore, the defensive side of his game, right? This is something that boggles my mind. People that still to this day say he can't defend. He's not a good defender, all because he's 5'10", 165 pounds. All right.
He's not 5'10". He's not 5'10".
5'9.5". You know what I mean? Like to take your famous expression, Pierre, that is malarkey. Okay. Like he is incredible at angling guys, cutting passing lanes, right? He wins puck battles. He uses his brain so well, his abilities so well. He's never going to outmuscle guys. That's not necessarily how you need to defend, though. He finds a way to be effective, and now he's playing on the penalty kill. How about that?
Well, because of Mike Matheson, I'm so proud of you for bringing that up because you're spot on. Shane, that penalty kill last night, did you see him? He was good.
All over.
So the biggest thing about him now, and I'm going to give Stefan Robidas some credit here, and it's not to take anything away from Lane, but you see Lane this year defending. He's not trying to outmuscle people. Like he's strong, but he's not a stout guy. So he's using his feet, he's using his angling, which you nailed, and he's using his stick to defend. Mm-hmm. Because of that, he's a very effective penalty killer because you don't have to be a physically strong person to kill penalties. You need to be a physically intense and smart person to kill penalties. And he's both of those things. And so you're spot on. You couldn't be more right. I'm really excited for him. It's just, he's such an amazing player. And it's so great for the fans of Montreal to be able to go to the rink and watch him live every day. It's amazing how good he is.
Remarkable. And then, we're talking about the defensive side, but really his bread and butter is in the O-zone. He has 31 points in 34 games this season. That is a 75-point pace. He's fourth in defenseman points this year, and it's his second year in the NHL, Pierre.
Yeah, not surprised. I know that I talked about him a lot before he got in the NHL because I was watching him practice and play a lot. I didn't think there'd be any American League time for him. I thought he'd be right in the NHL. Like I really did. Watching him and Celebrini in practice at BU was almost not fair.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. It was almost not fair. They were just really, really good. I would just say this. Lane's really good. Really smart coaching decision that hasn't gotten nearly enough play. Moving Lane back to the left side, playing Carrier on the right side, that's helped Carrier because he was struggling. It's really helped Lane. It's really helped Lane a lot, and it's created better slotting for the other defensemen. And the guy that's elevated the most, and I was talking to Scotty Bowman about this player today, Adam Engstrom.
Oh, wow.
I was talking to Scotty about him today. He's like, where'd they get this guy? I said, he was a draft. Where's he been? I said, Laval. Scotty knows all the answers to every question you ever asked, and he watches the show a lot, so there you go. But what I'd say is, so you got Engstrom playing in the 5-6 hole. You got Carrier playing in the 4-3-4 hole. You got a lot of the right things going on right now, which I think for the team is very positive. And the guy that benefited the most last night, I thought, was Arbor. I thought Arbor was really maybe one of Arbor's best games was last night in a while because he was never in trouble. He didn't do silly things. He had a breakaway coming out of the penalty box. He didn't score, but it was a smart play. It was a good play. So but the whole thing started because of creative coaching by Robida and St. Louis, and you put Carrier on the right side and you're playing with Lane, it makes a difference.
Absolutely. No, he's making players better around him. You mentioned it yesterday, but I don't know how you can leave him out of Team USA. As a Canadian, I hope he doesn't make it because I don't want my team to play him. But for his sake, for the opportunity that the Olympics are, I hope he makes it. He deserves it.
If they don't put him on there, they're going to have a problem, because if they anything less than gold, everybody's going to say, well, why didn't you have a guy that's almost a point-a-game player in the National Hockey League on your team? It's like last year. I know they got to overtime in the championship game of the Four Nations, but I can tell you right now, in the hockey circles, maybe not so much the fandom, but in the hockey circles, everybody's like, wait a second. You went to overtime and you didn't have Kyle Connor playing in that game. You made him a healthy scratch. And you played an injured Matthew Tkachuk, and you played a guy like Chris Kreider, who was at that time a part-time player ahead of Kyle Connor. No. So I think USA Hockey's opened themselves up to be second-guessed. They have. They did that. Shayne didn't do that. I didn't do that. Jimmy didn't do that. They did it. They did it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll find out. I think it's February 2nd, January 2nd that they're announcing.
No, they'll announce probably. You'll know by the 1st of January. You'll know by the 1st. I'm going to say all the players will know by probably the 30th or the 31st. And then you'll know. They don't want to take a lot away from the World Junior. The New Year's Eve at the World Junior is really important. So you don't want – and it's in Minnesota this year too. So you want to be smart about how you do it. January 1st is always an off day at the World Junior. Always, and it always will be. It's an off day at the World Junior. So – you're going to know by latest midday January 1st, but I'm going to think most of it will leak right after the games on the 31st. I'm going to bet that's probably what happens.
Yeah, well, put in your bets, put in your predictions in the comment section. We want to know who you think will make the team. Pierre, moving along now, there's a team in Minnesota that is very exciting, to say the least. They are on a 6-game win streak. They have probably one of the best defense pairings in the league. They proved it again last night. Quinn Hughes played 32 minutes. Brock Faber played 31. Pretty crazy. They are third in the NHL as we speak, 47 points in 35 games. However, this is where the dreaded playoff format comes into play, because they will likely have to face one of the Dallas Stars or the Colorado Avalanche in the first round. Yeah. Do they have enough, Pierre, do you think, to make a push this year?
To beat Dallas, they do. They do to beat Dallas for sure. They already did that earlier this week, so they can beat Dallas. A lot of it's going to depend on their health when they go in. Foligno's an important part of their group. He's back, really important part. Hartman's got to stay healthy for playoff hockey. I'm talking playoff hockey. They got to get Middleton back in the back end physically. He's a tough kid. Zuccarello's got to get back. He's an important player. Like, once they get all these guys back, it makes a difference for their depth. But they're good. And I know it hadn't been talked about. We talked about it, you and I and Jimmy. The Faber situation with Hughes, that's grossly unfair. It's Billy Guerin giving them a month and a half to get ready for the Olympics and to make their team better.
Yeah.
And so we talked about that as soon as the deal was done. So you see last night playing at Columbus, over 30 minutes for both guys. That's just what they're going to do. This is an amazing thing what's going on there. I have a lot of respect for what Billy's doing there. I think Johnny Hines is a great coach. Scotty and I were talking about Johnny Hines today, actually, and how well Johnny's coaching that team. I'm really proud of Johnny. And I remember when he was an assistant coach with Team USA in 2004 to Mike Eves, the first year the Americans ever won the World Junior. Johnny was the assistant coach. So yeah, I mean, he's traveled the highways and the byways to get to where he is, and this is his third chance at being a head coach in the NHL. And I think he's doing a real good job with it. I think he's doing a really, really good job with it.
I love seeing that team, that franchise succeed, have some excitement around it, because it's always, I feel like it's always just been an afterthought, right? The Wild have always just kind of been in the background. They've always been good, but not great, but not terrible either. So they've never had those superstars. They got lucky with Kaprizov. Matt Boldy's a heck of a player. They get Quinn Hughes. Now they're building something for real.
That
and I really hope they go far.
You're so spot on. Remember when we had Mr. Leopold on? Jimmy and I had Mr. Leopold on, the owner of Minnesota.
Great show.
He was really excited. And he said, "Don't you worry. We're getting Kaprizov signed. You don't have to worry. We're getting him signed."
Did they ever?
and did they ever? They got him signed. What I find interesting about Minnesota, you talked about Boldy, you talked about Kaprizov. They have a playoff player, Joel Eriksson. I think that in the playoffs, guys like that are worth their weight in gold, and he's a good player. He's a really good player. I like players like that because if they don't score, they can still help you win. And he's one of those guys.
Just does everything right. Just does everything right. Oh, it's a great team. Love seeing them have success. Pierre, I think we'll allocate a bit more time to questions today because it is Friday. We're going to try to get to all of them. In the last few shows, we've had to leave some on the cutting room floor. So the last topic I'd like to tackle with you before we move along here is the NHL roster freeze, because it is tonight at midnight that, for a whole week, December 20th to the 27th, no teams can make any sort of movement. So my question, I'm just curious, what is the incentive to make a trade today before the freeze?
Because you can get a player into town and get them chilled out and focused in on having a holiday. And there's not a lot of stress. And then you don't play again. Most teams don't play again until the 26th, some of them the 27th, some even the 28th. But you can, depending who you are, you can get a guy in and you can really relax them and get them set up. There's not a lot of trauma to them in terms of the move. So I think that's part of it. And for some of these teams that are going to be making moves, some of them need to make them because they know they're not good enough.
Yeah.
They're not going to say it publicly, but they know they're not good enough. They just know. And if you're Brad Treliving right now, I'll use him as an example because we talked about Toronto. If you think your team's good enough right now, you're not. So you got to do something. Now, I don't think he might not do anything, but if they don't, they're in big trouble. Their whole group's in big trouble. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, no, this is a turning point in the season for a lot of teams, and so that's why people
is finally coming out that there are empty seats in Toronto.
Ooh,
that's a scary thing. And I know I've talked to Jimmy about it. I know you listened to the show before Jimmy got sick, but I've seen a lot of empty seats in a lot of buildings where I'm not used to seeing empty seats. And I said that to Jimmy, and he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And Jimmy started paying attention. He's like, "Holy moly, you're right." So as much as everybody says, "Oh, the cap's going to go up, the cap's going to go up," don't be so sure. Don't be so sure we're going to see this acceleration of the cap. I know the league likes to talk about how well they're doing, and they are. You can't argue with the numbers. I've said this to you guys a million times. When I got in the league, it was a $500 million a year business. Now it's almost a $7 billion a year business. It's way different. It's way different.
Big time. Big time. Well, no trades so far today. There's still time. It's only 4:30, so Eastern time, that is. So you know what? Things can still change, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions about potential trades, so we won't tackle that just yet. Before we move to those questions, Pierre, I think it's a perfect opportunity for me to tell all our beautiful listeners about our great partners at the Eye Test. Good. I want to start off with our friends, of course, at Vago Italian. They've been open 23 years. That is longevity, because not many restaurants are open that long. That is a testament to how good it is over there, okay? They have private dining rooms for any occasions, whether it be birthdays, engagements, corporate meetings, or even retirements. They have plenty of free parking after 6 p.m. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch Tuesday to Friday. Fresh quality ingredients all the time, old world Italian classics and new Italian as well. Come see Tommaso, the most popular man in Westmount. And big thank you to our friends at Betway. You can bet the beauties with Betway and get a deposit matchup bonus up to $300 on your first deposit. You can scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link in the details section to create an account and redeem your welcome offer. The offer is only available for new customers. Terms and conditions apply. The offer is not available in Ontario. You must be 18 years or older, and please play responsibly. Pierre, before we get to the questions, however, we have an announcement to make. And Tony's going to make it again tonight. He's going to talk a little more in depth, okay? But I want to bring this up because December 23rd at the Sick Podcast, we will be doing a 14-hour, you heard me right, a 14-hour Habs holiday marathon. And we'll be raising funds for Cure SMA all day long. It's going to be a fantastic event. You and I will be a part of it. I know that I'll be doing a live viewing with Matt O'Hayan of the Habs versus Bruins that night. Okay, we're going to be live. We won't be live streaming the game, of course, but we're going to be live reacting to it. You're going to be a part of it, Pierre. I know you're going to be on the post game. You're going to be doing the eye test as well. 14 hours of uninterrupted sickness. That's right. All proceeds go to Cure SMA. Make sure you put it down on your calendar and you tune in, folks. It's going to be a fun one. And with that, let's get to the questions. First one comes from our buddy Nutty Joe. He's asking, will we see a potential double retention player trade today or at any point, really? Like, say, a Patrick Laine?
I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I could tell you, Joe. I don't know the answer to that. I really don't know. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised on Laine. I'd be really surprised.
Yeah. I don't remember last time we saw a double retention, though. It feels a bit rare.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. Great question, Joe. Next one. Our good friend Paul. Are some of the Leaf stars trying to get Berube fired? Whoa.
I don't know if they're trying to get him fired, but they're planning to get him fired because they look like they look poop. They don't look good at all. And it's not – I'm telling you right now, Craig's a good coach, and he's got a good staff. I know their power play is no good. A big part of that is because they don't have a power play quarterback up high. They had one last year in Marner. Nobody questioned the power play last year. Their penalty killing is not as good, and I think a big part of that is no Tanev. Obviously, no Carlo. I think they might have made a big mistake on the Carlo acquisition. Fraser Minton been a heck of a player. But the other part, too, is Ben Steeves. You know, people forgot Ben Steeves is the all-time leading scorer for the Toronto Marlies. He's in Boston now, too, and he's putting up points. So, and I told Jimmy this. Part of why they got Ben Steeves as a UFA out of the Marlies is because they were there watching Fraser Minton. Boston. Yeah. So they're watching Minton, and they're like, we're happy to get Minton, but we're going to take this guy at the end of the year. Yeah, Toronto didn't pay attention to their internal assets. I'm just telling you right now. They can say whatever they want. They did not. And they spent money on some college free agents that we'll see whether they turn out or not. But they got to look internally at some of the stuff that they did in Toronto. They really do.
Oof. All right. Next question. Our buddy Ethan Russell is asking, I love Tortorella's breakdown on the Flyers' first goal. The mistake made by Thompson, as much as I love Tage and Buffalo, I don't know how a player can make the Olympics when you make mistakes like that.
Yeah, but Ethan, you got to be fair, man. Everybody makes mistakes. If Torch was such a good player, he wouldn't have just played at University of Maine. You know, that's the one thing. Every player makes mistakes. And John's very good at breaking down things. I agree with that 100%. You mean to tell me you wouldn't want a 45 goal scorer on your team? Oh, boy. 6'5". Oh, boy. Come on, please. Let's get real. Stuff happens. So you're telling me that every goal goes in, all those guys that let the goals in shouldn't be playing in the Olympics? I'm not buying that, Ethan. Usually your questions are amazing. I'm not buying that one.
No, that's it. And players like that, you kind of have to live with the risks, right? They're going to take risks. And it's up to the rest of the team to kind of, make up for that. Any superstar, any highly talented offensive player, they do that. That happens, right? So.
I did a Chicago. This is a good one for you. I did a Chicago Boston Bruins game, and it was a big national broadcast in the United States. And Patrice Bergeron lost a faceoff lost his man. They didn't score in the initial chance. Then he got beat one-on-one coming out of the corner. You mean to tell me you wouldn't want Patrice Bergeron in the Olympics after that shift? Come on, like seriously, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
No, I think he'll be fine, Ethan. All right, let's get to the next question. Juice is asking, with how well he's been playing recently and with the salary cap increasing over the next couple of years, where does Lane Hutson's contract rank among the best contracts in the NHL?
It's got to be right up there. Yeah. Just like Brady Tkachuk's has got to be right up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go look at Brady Tkachuk's contract. You got to look. The game's been changing. The cap's been changing. You know, what's relevant a year ago is irrelevant now. But agents know that. I mean, players still have to play. Every time they miss a paycheck, it's a paycheck they're never getting back. So you sign and you know there could be other contracts that are coming up that are better. It's easy to be the Monday morning quarterback. It's hard to do it in real time. To negotiate a contract, it's really hard to do it in real time.
Yeah, $8.85 million a year starting next year for Lane Hutson. Ooh, that's a pretty nice deal. Yeah.
So if I told you, you know what, Shayne, for 8 years, you're going to make $8.85 million a year, but at the end of it, you can't work. Would you sign the contract?
I can't work.
Yeah, no, I'm doing this hypothetically. Okay. If I said to you, you're going to be in the media business, and I'm going to pay you $8.85 million a year for the next years. But at the end of that 8-year period, you're not allowed to work. Would you sign it?
Do I have an ability to negotiate that? Or is it a hard?
Either you take it or you don't.
I take it. Obviously, I take it.
Of course. So there you go. Yeah. Let's move on.
There we go. All right, next question. George is asking, the Leafs sent a top 5 protected pick to Boston for Brandon Carlo in the trade we mentioned. Will this trade be a disaster for the Leafs if they miss the playoffs without the reward of a high pick? Oh, boy.
That is correct, sir.
Oh.
That's why we brought that up.
That's a swift kick between the legs, my friend. Ouch. To answer George's question, yes. Next question. Kenny is asking, do you think Matthew Schaefer makes the Olympic team?
I personally do. I do. I think part of what they're looking at is there's a commitment to 2030 as well with NHL players going. And because of that, I think that Matthew Schaefer makes it and he gets a taste of it and he comes back in 2030 and he's the Sidney Crosby of 2010 and 2014.
That's a great point.
I do.
I'd take him on my team every day of the week.
I think he makes it. I do. He makes it.
Yep. Unbelievable.
He's a tremendous
player.
Yep.
W. Travis Mitchell is saying Gallagher has a heart of a lion. Yes, he does. An old and injured lion, but a lion nonetheless. Can less be more for him, like a 12th or 13th forward? Jack Guy has been better than Struble when he keeps his game simple and disciplined.
We agree on everything. Every single thing that you just said, Travis, 100%. By the way, Travis Mitchell, if it's the same one, was a good player at Cornell, signed as a free agent with the New York Islanders, played in Bridgeport, and he's had a little taste up in the NHL. So if it's the same Travis Mitchell, I'm with you. If it's not a different one, well, that's okay too.
We're with you still anyways. And that's a great observation there. Absolutely. Galley, wow. Can't say enough good things about Galley. He's
I agree.
He's a warrior. All right, next question. Ethan Russell again. How about Seth Jones for the Team USA? Talk about a physical, punishing guy. Big body, 6'4". Haven't heard his name much.
No, you really haven't. That one I like, Ethan. I like that a lot. And the biggest thing about Seth is obviously Stanley Cup winner, World Junior Gold winner, which people forget about. He and Jake McCabe were a big part of that World Junior team, along with Johnny Gaudreau, Jimmy Vesey. Phil Housley was the coach of that team over in Russia in 2013, I think it was. I think Seth Jones should be mentioned. The problem is for USA is that there are going to be a lot of guys in the hunt. Like you're not Werenski's like he's just locked. Quinn Hughes is a lock. Charlie McAvoy's a lock. So now what Jacob Slavin's a lock. So there's 4 of your 7 or 8. We already got 4, so you got to pay attention to the other stuff. It's not going to be that easy.
You'd think Faber's a lock too with how he's played with.
Well, I think Faber's a lock. I'm not going to say it, but he's a lock, so that's 5.
Yeah, starting to get thin here. Not many spots available. Well, we'll see. They've got that's for sure. One thing for sure, the U.S. has a good amount of defensemen. We didn't even mention Jake Sanderson there.
Yeah, he's already. I mean,
he's going to be on.
Like it's just, you want all these guys to be on there, but I don't. How many of them can make? I mean, I don't think you're taking more than 8 guys. So just from what you just said, I think we got 6.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. I brought up Adam Fox was on the 4 Nations.
Is he going to be healthy though?
Is he going to be healthy enough to play? And if he is he going to make the team?
Yeah. Wow. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, start looking at it. It's not that easy. It's a lot harder than people think.
Wow. All right, let's get to the next question. Nutty Joe again is asking, Pierre, can you guess who will be sellers in February? An unexpected team, maybe Toronto?
Yeah, I think Toronto could be. And if LA slips out of it, I think LA could be a seller. That was a big win for LA last night in Tampa. Yeah. Really big win for LA. I mean, they had to get that done. I would just say this is that I think there's probably going to be, there'll probably be 5 legit big sellers that people will be like, wow, they're selling. I think people will be surprised at some of the teams.
Mm-hmm. Seattle's one of those. We talked about them yesterday, and they lost to Calgary again.
This is breaking my heart on them. I'm just telling you, they're 1-9-0 in their last 10. There you go, right there.
Juice is on it.
Want juice? Way to go, man! And this summer, anybody that's a regular watcher of this show, you can go look at it. I said to Jimmy, and Jimmy agreed with me. They're the only team in the league I can tell you. I have no idea what their identity is. I couldn't even begin to tell you. No. And I watch all their games. I could not even. How do they play? What are they going to play like? Who's going to be the guy that's going to lead them out of troubles? I couldn't tell you any of those things. I have no idea what they are. They're. It's not that they're nondescript, but they're a team that just doesn't have an identity, and that's a problem in the league.
No, and with all the, the contract restrictions, with all the, the no move or modified no move. It's going to be really difficult to maneuver that one.
I have to think ownership's looking at all the decision making that's been going on there for a little while now. Again, I don't want to pick a fight with anybody. I'm just telling you, like, I don't think ownership will be happy with that after the way they started and where they are right now. I got to think there'll be some serious questions.
Tough sledding there. Yeah, that's going to be a team to follow, and we're going to do that here on the eye test. Okay, make sure you're subscribed, everybody. Next question. Vegan zombies. If Montembeault doesn't find his game in Laval, do you bring him back up to give Fowler more starts in Laval, or keep Fowler in the NHL?
Fowler's got to play. You can't be sitting on the bench, and you can't be keeping the spot warm for somebody. He's got to play, and if he's not playing, you put him back. That's all. I got to think he's going to get one of the 2 games this weekend. Which one he gets, I don't know. But maybe you do know, Shayne. I don't know. But if Fowler's not playing every other game or doesn't go on a bit of a run, then I put him back in Laval and bring Montembeault up.
Yeah.
Don't ruin the development. Goalies really need to play.
This is one player that you can't afford to ruin his development. No. Like, Jacob Fowler is integral to the future of the Montreal Canadiens. If you screw that up, you're in big trouble. My guess, to answer your question, Pierre, I think he'll play Sunday. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if he played tomorrow, because it's been noted that Jakub Dobeš performs better with more rest between games. So we will see. It's up to Marty. Next question. Paul Cormier again. Hey, Pierre and Shayne. What's up, Paul? Question. Is it possible for a signed contract, Hutson as example, for the GM to open it and give him a raise, or not allowed? This contract is a steal. I mean, Pierre, we're talking about, we signed this player at a bargain. No, he deserves more. It's crazy. That's how good he is.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
So that's why I'll use Christian Dvorak as an example, because I think it's a really good one. He went to Philadelphia because he had played for Rick Tocchet in Arizona. And Rick and he have a very good relationship, and he knew that Rick was going to give him every opportunity to really thrive. So he signed a 1-year deal to go to Philly. He bet on himself because he trusted the coach. Rather, he could have gone other places and signed 3-4 years, probably $4.5 million a year. He signed in Philly. He bet on himself, and now he's playing as a first-line center.
Yeah.
A lot of time in Montreal, he's playing as a 3 and sometimes a 4. Now he's playing as a first-line center. He's getting points. He's getting big minutes, and he's going to make a whack of money. He's going to make a whack of money, but he only signed a 1-year deal. He bet on himself. If I'd have been Lane Hutson, I wouldn't have done that. No way. I would have signed 8.8 for 8.5 million or whatever it is. I'd have signed that.
Stability and comfort.
I will.
Now you see how he's playing.
This isn't Lane's last contract.
Oh, I mean, the next one he's going to sign, he's going to be 29.
Yeah,
still the prime of his career.
This is not
he's
his last contract, so don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He'll be just fine.
He's going to get his bread. Don't worry.
He'll be just
all right,
fine.
next question. Travis Mitchell again. And by the way, it's not the Travis Mitchell you mentioned. Okay. I saw it in the chat. How can Montreal bring more team physicality with their current lineup and skill game? They need to be harder to play against if they want playoff success.
You got to encourage that as a coaching staff. You sell that in practice. You sell that in your meetings, and you make sure you don't have to kill people. You have to angle people. Hockey's the only sport without out of bounds. So drive people to the boundary, play inside out. And if you do that, you're going to be fine. But it's a coaching mentality. It's what you sell and how you teach your players in practice.
That's it. And I think there's maybe a bit of confusion or misinterpretation when we talk about physicality. It's not just bone crushing hits. All right. Because Caden Gooley can do that, right? Josh Anderson can do that. They throw big hits. What we're talking about is more so winning puck battles, right? Winning those physical one-on-ones in front of the net, moving guys around, right? That's the physicality that, is a bit of a question mark for the Habs right now. Agreed. Honestly, not too worried.
Agree 100%.
Next question. Nutty Joe is asking, would you do Philippe Danault at 50% retained for Owen Beck? Now, Philippe Danault makes $5.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Straight up swap. Would you do it?
Probably not. Probably not.
I don't think I would either.
Probably not.
No.
I think Beck's just getting warmed up, and you need to have cheaper. What's going to happen with Montreal, you're going to need to have cheaper guys on your roster because you're going to be able to attract some high-end, and you got to think about Demidoff's contract down the road. Demidoff is going to get a heck of a payday. So there's, you got to pay attention. What about Kapanen? You got to pay attention. No, I don't think I would do that, honestly. Just long-term planning, I'm not sure I would do that.
That's not something that Kent and Jeff would do, right? You see their track record. This isn't the type of move that they're inclined to make. 2 more years at 50% retained, but still, is it a 32-year-old center or a 21-year-old center who's just starting to heat up now? No, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think I'd do it, but I'd think about it, but I would.
Yeah,
probably
you have to.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next one. Daniel is asking, how about Josh Anderson straight up for Daniel?
Yeah, they're two different things though. So that's interesting. I don't see LA doing that. LA wants to get younger. They don't want to get older. They want to get younger. So
then again, Marc Bergevin is a part of that management team, so who knows?
He is. But I would just say this with all due respect to Mark, who I like a lot, and Luc Robitaille, who I really like a lot. Kenny Hall making the hockey stuff decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get to the next one. John Palmieri. Hey guys, love the pod. We love you, John. Pierre, Dustin Byfuglien was a unicorn and was the only player I saw that absolutely manhandled Pronger in the playoffs. What can you say about him and his game?
I watched him play junior in Prince George. He was, in those days, he was one of the few Minnesota kids that ever left and didn't go to college. He went up and played in Prince George in the Western Hockey League. He was big, he was fast, he was physical, and Big Buff could shoot the puck. He could really hammer the puck. And I don't think people ever gave him enough credit for the offensive abilities that he had as a player. Strong, physical, hardworking. He had a lot of fun. I think he had a ton of fun. But I think every one of his teammates always liked him. I never heard anybody say a bad thing about him as a teammate. I always admired him just because I've very seldom seen guys that big move that well and be that athletic. Like, I can only imagine what he would have been like as a tight end in football. He would have been an amazing football player. So, but I go back to watching Dustin when he was playing in Prince George in the Western Hockey League. So a lot of respect for him. A lot.
Absolutely. Oh, what a player. He was so fun to watch. Not fun to play against, though, I'm sure.
No.
All right, let's get to the next one. Ian Scott Lewis. Suzuki seems a bit off lately. Not playing bad, just not carrying the team on his back like usual. Do you think the Iron Man is tired? Do you think the Olympics is a good thing or a bad thing for the Habs season?
I think the Olympics are good for Montreal because they don't know how many guys are actually going to make their Olympic teams. And you don't have to worry about Demidov. I don't think Kapanen's going to make his country's Olympic team. Engstrom might. Slav will. Slav was the MVP of the Olympics in Beijing.
Yeah.
People forget that. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Suzuki, no, I don't think he's tired. I think he's fine. I just think that it's a lot of pressure when you're playing as a number one center in the league and you're trying to find an identity with your line mates. They've moved around. Obviously, Bolduc playing there, Slavkovsky moving to play with Kapanen and Demidov. So they've made some movements. I don't think Nick's tired. I don't. And I thought he was actually pretty good last night. I thought he was pretty good last night.
The whole line looked good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next one. Formosan. I hope I said that right. Hey, Shayne and Pierre. Thanks for the great show. Well, thank you for tuning in. Do you think Oliver Kapanen can actually fill the second line center shoes the Canadiens need, or is his ceiling really an elite 3?
I think elite 3. I really do. I think if he's your 3, I think you got to, and let's say Evans is your 4. I think you got a legitimate chance to compete for the cup because whomever would be in the 2-hole would be obviously a step up, and that would be good. And then obviously Suzuki being the 1. I think if he's your 3, you got a pretty good center ice position there. You really do.
Yeah, you're doing well. The only thing with Kapanen, right? It's like, the hockey IQ is excellent, the positioning, the defensive responsibility, the face-offs, he's good as well. The only thing really he's lacking, in my opinion, is, pace and playmaking. He's a step below on that front, which I think doesn't bode well for a second line center.
No, but here's the thing. Like, I'm watching Florida win the cup the last 2 years. Anton Lundell was their third center.
There you go.
So think about when Anton Lundell came into the league and what he was like compared to where Anton Lundell is now. And I watched a lot of World Junior where Anton Lundell, everybody's like, can't miss, going to be a number 1. Didn't turn out. Turned out to be a real good 3, though.
Really
good 3. Yeah.
I think that's a great comparable there. Yeah, if Kapanen's the 3, you're in good shape there. Next question. Ethan Russell again. Pierre, who are your current top 3 college teams right now?
Yep. You know what? I got Dakota in there. I got University of Michigan in there.
Yeah.
And then I got to think about who 3 would be. It might be Michigan State. It might be Wisconsin. But I'll tell you, Dakota's far better than what people are giving them credit. They got some real good players there in Dakota. And Dane Jackson's done a very good job coaching them. Mm-hmm. Michigan's just Michigan. They're good. You know what? If you were to press me on it, I'd say Wisco would be 3. Those would be my top 3. It's a down year for Hockey East. It is. It's a down year. Last year, like the team that Ethan cheers for, I think they lost 6 or 7 guys from UMass Amherst that went to pro hockey. Northeastern lost 6 guys that went to pro hockey. Maine lost 3 or 4 that went to pro hockey. Like, all these teams in Hockey East lost way too many guys to pro hockey last year. So it takes time to replenish. The ECAC is actually up a little bit this year, which is good for them. They're better this year than they were last year. The NCHC, I think, is always going to be really competitive and hard. CCHA is trying to find their way. Bowling Green's really starting to make an impact. But I would say 2 teams out of the Big Ten, for sure. I would say Wisconsin and Michigan, and then I'd have Dakota in there. Dakota's good, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people as we go along.
Yeah. Well, great picks. Great picks. Ethan, let us know your picks too. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Like that. Let us know what his picks are
in the chat. Absolutely. All right, let's get to the next one. Slapstream Gaming. Pierre, thoughts on Habs goalie prospect playing for Denver University? If I'm not wrong here, that is Conte Miller.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't like to put too much pressure on prospects unless I'm lead pipe guaranteed that I know what I'm talking about. In this case, I would need to see more.
Yeah, small sample size, but good so far.
I need to see more.
I think we had a few more here. Let's keep it
going.
going.
Yeah, keep going.
Brandon's asking, with a healthy top six, do you still see Bolduc in it long term? I was thinking of a third line of Budzik, Newhook, and Beck. Could be really interesting with lots of speed.
That would be an awesome line to watch.
Whew. The
only thing I think you'd have a problem with is, Bolduk's a lefty, Newhook's a lefty. I don't know. Bolduk's probably more comfortable playing on the offside.
Beck's a righty.
Beck, but I would have Beck at center, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just talking about on the wings. But
okay.
No. That I would like to see that. It's actually a smart idea. That's good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Habs have options, man. That's
do. That's the thing. They got options. People don't know. Like, people forget Newhook's even part of their team. They got options.
He was having a good year too before he got injured there.
Oh, he was playing so well.
Really well. Yeah. All right. Next one. Vegan Zombies. Do you guys think the Habs should pick up an offensive veteran this season, maybe from Nashville or St. Louis?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Interesting.
I do. I would love to see Robert Thomas in Montreal.
Oh, wow. That'd be something.
I told Tony this a year ago.
Yeah. I
would love to see Robert Thomas in Montreal. He would grow with this group unbelievably. I would be so happy to see him. But I'm not saying they're trading Robert Thomas.
No.
I'm just saying, if I could pick a player that I think fits Montreal, it's Robert. I think Robert would be great in Montreal.
Yeah. I'm scared of the price tag, though. I think the price tag is going to be pretty high.
We're not making any kind of big deal without, giving. I think the template was created between Minnesota and Vancouver. So Minnesota basically traded 4 first-round picks to get Quinn Hughes. So they created how teams are going to negotiate now. That's kind of the line where people have to get to now.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting. Ooh, he would be amazing there. Absolutely.
He'd be good in Montreal.
Love that pick. All right, let's get to the next one. Travis Mitchell again. Why does the West have such a spread in points and the East is so tight? Is it tied to the number of big market teams that can spend in each conference?
No, it has nothing to do with it. The cap's the cap, and people can spend as much. Look at LA spends up to the cap. Anaheim's going to be right there eventually. San Jose's going to have to be there eventually. Vegas is a big cap team. No, I don't think that has anything to do with caps. It's just this is a statistical anomaly. There are a lot of teams in the East that people didn't think would be as good, and there's some teams in the East that have underachieved. So you put it together, I think the West is kind of where a lot of people thought the West would be. And yeah, it's fine. I don't think the cap has anything to do with it. I really don't.
No, that's it. Okay, I believe we have one last question. It's a great question too, from Craig Custard.
Hey,
how do I get
I know that guy. He's a hockey guy, that Craig Custard.
Like this one, folks. It's sickattire.com. Okay, you can wear this hat. There's plenty of other stuff too. Okay, sickattire.com.
You get Craig Custard's address and you make sure that you send him one. He's a hockey guy. Trust me, he's good.
Yeah, the Sick merch is unparalleled. It's great quality and it looks damn good. So yeah, I'm a little biased.
I don't have any. I need one more than you. You got hair.
That's good stuff. Well, Pierre, that will do it for us today and this week. I just want to say I've appreciated this time so much. Jimmy Murphy is on his way back. He is healing. He's feeling better. Couldn't make it today yet, but we're aiming for Monday. We're aiming for Monday for Jimmy's return. We hope he's back in full health. But I want to thank you, Pierre. This has been a phenomenal experience for me. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you to all the viewers as well for your amazing questions and your great comments. That's really all I got, Pierre.
Well, you've done so well. I'm just so proud to call you a teammate, Shayne. And the biggest thing to me is, it was so easy to just call you and say, Shayne, I need you to help out. And you're like, great, I'm all in. I'm all in, man. Yeah. I'm like, good for you. Shayne's a pro, and people don't realize right from the start of this show, Shayne has been a part of it. We're working on almost the third year now. It's unbelievable how time flies. And people say to me, don't you get tired of doing this? And no, I don't actually. I love doing this every day. And part of why I love doing it is the question period, and also getting to talk to Shayne every day and Jimmy every day and Anello and Sammy and everybody at the Sick Podcast. It's an amazing array of people. I'm just so happy to be part of it. And I love doing this. I really do. I love doing it every day.
I love producing, and you know what? I've really enjoyed being in front of the camera with you. Pierre, this is an amazing episode of the Sick Podcast, the Eye Test. Yourself and hopefully Jimmy Murphy will be back Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Now it is Christmas week.
Next week.
It is Christmas week. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna take Christmas Eve, Christmas Day off, but stay tuned on the social medias. We'll keep you updated, and do not miss Tuesday, December 23rd, the 14-hour Habs Holiday Marathon. All proceeds are going to cure SMA. We hope you can join us for that. It's going to be a fantastic event with lots of people involved. Obviously, Tony's the headliner there, but he's going to have a lot of guests. We're going to be involved as well. It's going to be a ton of fun. So thank you, Pierre. Thank you to Sammy and Aniello back at Master Control. I'm producer Shayne. This was another edition of the Sick Podcast, the Eye Test. We'll see you next week. Take care.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.